This video will show you a manifestation and visualization technique that you may have never heard of before. I'm going to show you how to apply this in your own life so that you're able to get profound results. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to adopt this new visualization technique that I've been applying in my own life. It's something I actually learned the other day while talking to my buddy Victor Odo, which some of you guys may know. And we were actually at the gym. He came to Vegas. We were at a conference. We'll have a couple videos coming up soon about it. And what we did is we were at the gym and he told me that he has this thing he does where when he is working out, he kind of visualizes himself as being Arnold Schwarzenegger, who, as you guys know, is an amazing bodybuilder, older guy now, but he's a legend in that area. Now, it was interesting to me because he said that when he does it, he actually begins to feel like it, and he says that it actually, he feels, influences his body and his mind. Now, this got me thinking because many times we have people, you may have seen people before, that when they meditate, they might have like spiritual masters and like a table in front of them that they're looking at. And I've always kind of felt like, even though I don't necessarily do that, you know, I know other people and I have friends that do that, but the thing is I believe that when we do that, that's kind of like a mental representation that we use, like something that we kind of go off of that makes it something that we relate to. And it becomes something that we may start identifying with certain traits because we are looking at it, because we're focused on it, and because we have an intention of becoming more like it. Now, I believe that this is a powerful way we can infuse this into our daily lives or into our visualization process by literally using other people as a mental representation of how we want to become. So for example, if you wanted to become more compassionate, you could have pictures of people being more compassionate. You can imagine the kind of characteristics, the kind of ways that they think, their identity. As you do this, you start to embody similar traits. And in a way, you know, they say we're the average of the 5 people we're around the most. And what if we consciously decided that we were going to be more like certain people, so we began to, you know, in a way, think about being like them, and we began to imagine ourselves being like them. Like in the same way we might imagine ourselves as having the same kind of mentality when we're working out as Arnold Schwarzenegger. How could we apply this towards different areas of our life? Well, understand that our identity is running most of our life experience. And based on how we define ourselves, that's always going to be how we act in accordance to. We're going to have similar beliefs to how we think we are. The identity is something we will always do our best, subconsciously or consciously, to remain consistent to. So a powerful way to go beyond that is to start to view ourselves as having characteristics of people that we want to be like. Now, this is also something that Napoleon Hill did in his book, Think and Grow Rich. He talks about how he had this visualization thing in his mind where he would imagine that he was around all of these really successful people, even people that were maybe past and not even alive anymore. And what he was doing is, I think it was called the invisible counselor technique, or I can't remember the exact name of it. I did a video on it recently though. And what he did is he would visualize himself talking to all these people and what they would say to him, and he'd get very deep into his visualization, and he would feel like from his subconscious mind he was actually getting advice from them. Now, in the same way, how can we apply this in our own life? Well, have more of an intention when you go into certain parts of your life. Maybe you go in and you are working out. Maybe you imagine the people that you want to be like, the kind of work ethic you want to have, the kind of body and physique that you want, and you imagine what you're going to have to do to get there. You're going to imagine how you have to work out, how you have to feel about yourself, how do you have to look at yourself. And as you go into it, you realize that it makes you feel a certain way. And you realize that then you start to link up to that person and to the way that that person thinks. Now understand that at a deeper level, get a little metaphysical here, we are all connected. And I believe that we can tap into each other's character traits. We can tap into and become more like someone with intention. Now you can still be your unique person and, you know, the unique part of yourself, but you can tap into and start to connect to deeper parts of characteristics based on the own focus. So this is something that you can apply in a visualization technique. And what I recommend you do is you find people that you want to be more like. Maybe you find people that are in certain areas of your life you want to be like more like. So for example, maybe me, I've always looked up to like Tony Robbins, you know, like I've always wanted to become an amazing public speaker, you know, that is able to like captivate crowds the way he does. So what I can do is I can look to the types of things he does. I can see like and model the kind of behavior that he's had. And I can also start to realize, I don't have to speak like him. I can speak in my own unique way, but I can kind of use him as like a benchmark, as something that I have as a mental representation in my mind to be more like. So even if like I were to practice public speaking, I can imagine that I had a similar type of energy, or I carry myself in a confident way like he does, and I could use that as a mental representation as I walk around to feel in the same type of way. So maybe find somebody that you are inspired by, someone that you want to be more like. Maybe it's in sports and there's some way that you want to get better with sports, so you imagine someone that's really good at what you want to do, even if it's just a friend. It doesn't have to be a celebrity. But as you begin to tap into more of that, I believe that we can take on more of those identity traits, more of those beliefs. And as we do that, that changes everything. Now, of course, as I say in a lot of my videos, our beliefs create our reality. And with our beliefs comes our identity, the way we define ourselves. Our beliefs will always be in alignment to what our identity is and how we think about ourselves. So if we start to give ourselves and imagine that we are these people, that we have traits similar to them, even if we're not them, we're our unique version, what we do is we begin to become more like them. And over repetition, we start to literally have more of those traits. It starts to become more of who we are, and maybe we even feel more like them. And as we feel like them, we will then eventually get the reflection that we want. So I'd say the most powerful thing you could do is to have a powerful intention for how you prefer to be. Understand that when you use this visualization technique, what you do is you have the intention and then you imagine, you use that as a mental representation, and you imagine that that's how you are. And as you do that, you'll start to get benefits of feeling like that is who you are. You'll start to shift your identity in a powerful way. And then as you go into your daily life, you can start to then embody more of those characteristics so that that becomes more of your experience. So I would say this is something you can apply maybe just a couple times a day, maybe when you're doing specific activities like working out and you start to visualize yourself being the best version of yourself. And maybe even if it's not a specific celebrity or some type of person that's uber successful, maybe you just imagine the best version of yourself, of how you'd like to be. You imagine how you would act. You imagine all of these different characteristics. And if you really want to change that, you have to change your self-image. And there's something that I actually put it in the description box. It's my subconscious mind meditation, and it will show you exactly how to change what you think, what you feel, and how you act, and how when you do that, everything begins to change. Our subconscious mind is running most of our life experience. So what I've done is I've applied that into a meditation that you can listen to right before you go to bed. And as you do that, you'll find that everything begins to change because you're changing your life from the inside out. So that link will be below. I'll link it right up for you guys. And then other than that, remember, all you have to do is use this visualization technique in a powerful way with intention. Decide that this is how you're going to be. Maybe it's even the best version of yourself, whatever it is, and then use that as a mental representation. Go throughout your daily life, apply that in a visualization technique, apply that while you're doing certain activities, and you'll see that it begins to change your life. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that little notification here so that you're able to see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.